Let me ask you something. What if 2026 is the year you stop hoping affiliate marketing works and start treating it like it actually matters? Not more random promos, not more last minute emails, real commitments that change how you show up, how you promote, and how you get paid. In this episode, I'm sharing the affiliate resolutions that actually move the needle, from building systems and tracking results to selling with confidence, creating bonuses that stand out. If you want this year to be different, this episode right here, it's where it starts. If you're ready to take your affiliate program and your business to the next level, well, you're in the right place. I'm Matt McWilliams, best-selling author and 4-time Affiliate Manager of the Year, and I have built dozens of affiliate programs from the ground up to over $1 million a month. I'm here to show you how you can do it too. Let's get started. So first off, welcome to the final episode of 2025. I want to do something I haven't done in a few years, because it's been a couple of years since we had an episode like we had just a couple of episodes ago that really blew up. The episode I did on predictions. The episode that I did on my affiliate marketing, affiliate industry predictions a couple of weeks ago just blew up. And so then the next episode was almost as big. And so long story short is picked up a ton of subscribers. And so I want to welcome you, those of you who are new. This is maybe your second or third or fourth. Maybe you went back. I also noticed it's been very interesting over the last couple of weeks. The number of downloads I have of like the first 10 episodes, especially episode 1, and just random episodes here and there, like really spiked. And so it's been kind of cool to see that. So, hey, I'm your host, Matt McWilliams. Welcome to the Affiliate Guy Podcast. So if you caught the last episode, we talked all about New Year's resolutions for affiliate managers, how to set yourself up to lead your program better in 2026. Whether that's, we talked about tracking and recruiting, communication, just not winging it next year. That episode was for the folks running the affiliate programs. But this week, it's time to flip the script. And this one is for affiliates. Those of you who are out there promoting products and building your audiences, and you're trying to turn, as I talk about, turn your passions into profits, turn your influence into income. And if that's you, I've got some powerful resolutions to help you take your affiliate marketing to really some new levels in 2026. Now, for some of you, that might be to go from making $0 to making your first $1,000 in 2026. That would be your resolution. That would be your goal for 2026. I want to make $1,000. Maybe it's to go from 0 to 2,000. It's probably not to go from 0 to 250,000. That's usually not realistic. For others, it's to go from that 2,000 mark to the $10,000 mark, or from $5,000 to $10,000 to $60,000 to $75,000, where it's like, you know what, this is almost a full-time income for me just from affiliate marketing. In fact, it probably is, assuming that you have some products of your own, some services of your own. If you're making $50,000 to $75,000 from affiliate marketing, you're probably making $75,000 to $100,000 from your overall business, maybe $125,000 or $50,000. And now you're full time. Maybe that's your goal for 2026. Whatever your goal is, these habits, these mindset shifts, these strategy changes, they're going to make this your best year ever. Not just in terms of commissions, but in terms of consistency, in terms of momentum, in terms of purpose and meaning, and just really making an impact on your industry, your community, your audience, and ultimately, your bottom line, which means your family, your bank account, your family tree. That this like really, man, going to impact my family tree. Yes. Some of this stuff can be very generational if you really do it right. And so we're going to talk about treating affiliate marketing like a real business, planning your year out instead of just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, going all in on fewer promos. We're going to talk about a whole lot. Some of these might challenge you. A few you might be like, yeah, I know that. Okay, you know it. But my challenge would be, did you need that reminder? Have you been executing on it? Just because you knew it, have you been executing on it? It's like, I could do an episode, how to lose weight in 2026. Eat less. Okay, well, you knew that one. Exercise more. Okay, got it. Nobody's, oh, that's new information. I didn't know that I have to burn more calories than I consume. Yeah, we all know that. But are you executing on it? And I bet, we've got 15, 16 of these resolutions. I bet one of them, I don't know which one it's going to be for you, will completely shift how you approach your affiliate work this year. So let's dive in. Let's jump into these resolutions, starting with a big one, treating affiliate marketing like a business. So resolution number 1, I will treat affiliate marketing like a business. Listen, if you want affiliate marketing to pay you like a business, you want to make money like a business, you have to run it like one. What that means is no more random posts, no more, sure, I'll promote that real quick, no more last minute emails, no more hoping something sticks. A real business has a plan. A real business has priorities. And I don't like this one because this is not how my natural mind operates. But a real business has systems. If you're familiar with the DISC profile, right? DISC. My natural DISC profile is very high D and high I. I have 0 S and like 1 out of 20 on the C. I'm like 19 D, 18 I, 0 S, 1 C or 2 C, something like that. I have very little S and C. But what's happened over the last 15 or 20 years. So I first took the DISC profile when I was just out of college, I think 24. And that's exactly what it was. I took it again when I was 28 and it stayed exactly the same. My natural and my adaptive styles were identical. What that means is the way I'm wired and then how I adapt were exactly the same. Around 35, same thing. I took it again, exact same thing. Over the last decade or so, I have shifted my adaptive style. I'm now at like a 10 on the C. My I and my D have both dropped just a little bit, especially the D side. And what I thought back in the day when my adaptive and my natural were identical was that, oh, look at that, I'm true to myself. Here's my natural, here's my adaptive. I don't adapt. And I looked at that actually as a positive. Now when I say I don't adapt, that kind of sounds really negative all of a sudden. And it was. I was saying I'm true to myself. Look at my scores are the same on both. That just means that I'm true to myself and I am who I am and, pat myself on the back, right? The problem with that was I wasn't adapting. And so what's happened over the last about 12 years or so is I have slowly adapted to a higher C. And I've created systems and plans and spreadsheets and all these things. The things that I hate, I have created because they're necessary to run my business properly. And that is true for you and your affiliate marketing efforts. If you want to succeed, I want you to resolve to put structure around your affiliate marketing. Create a simple content plan that you're not reinventing the wheel every week, right? Weekly KPIs, email sent, content published, clicks generated, promos planned. Doesn't matter what things you track. I would rather you track fewer data points and actually track them all 52 weeks and hit 75% of your goals than have 25 data points and then you just give up by March. That's something I was talking with a client today about. Like we need 5 data points that we track like our lives depend on them. And if we track those consistently for 4 months, this was in mid-December, and we've been tracking them for like 2 weeks. I said, if we consistently track those for 4 months, it gets us through Q1, then we can add 2. We can pick 2 more that we track. But right now, let's track 5 and track them like our lives dependent on them. So block time on your calendar specifically for affiliate work. That's the other thing. It's like, oh, I'll get around to it. No, you don't do affiliate marketing when you get to it. You do affiliate marketing from 1 to 3 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays because that's what your calendar tells you to do. You have set a meeting. Oh, can you meet can you meet at 1:30 on Monday? No, I have a meeting then. And don't feel guilty because you have it on your calendar. Now, if like, let's say it's, well, can you interview me Wednesday at 2 and you've got blocked off from 1 to 3? Absolutely. I can interview you Wednesday at 2 because that's my time to do affiliate marketing, and interviewing you is part of that. So most affiliates don't fail because they're bad marketers. They don't fail because they write bad emails. They fail because they treat affiliate marketing like a side hustle instead of an actual part of their business. When you build systems, even the simplest systems, stress goes down, consistency increases, and consistency compounds. Is it going to mean that your January is your best month ever? Probably not statistically. But it might be. I mean, it could be. I'm not saying it won't be. It just probably won't be. But it compounds. And I can promise you, your year will be your best year ever if you do that. Again, you don't need complex spreadsheets. You don't need fancy dashboards. Just intention. You decide what success looks like. You decide how you'll measure it. Then show up like a business owner, not a hobbyist. That's key. Resolution number 2 is I will track my results religiously. Again, like your life depends on it. I, quote unquote, I think that promo did pretty well. That is not tracking. That is not a strategy. It's a guess. Guesses don't scale. 0 doesn't scale and guesses don't scale. So this year, you have to do this to do number 1. It's part of number 1 in a sense. Resolve to track what actually happens when you promote. You need to know those key metrics. Know your open rates. Know your click-through rates. Know your EPCs. Even basic tracking will put you miles ahead of most affiliates. So after every promo, as you line these promos up, again, put it on your calendar. When does the promo end? March 17th. On the 19th, if it's a weekday and if you don't work weekends, okay, the 20th, whatever. I want you to take 10 minutes and write down what worked. I want you to write down the stats and track those things. Like, did you have an exceptional open rate on an email? Did you have an exceptional click-through rate on an email? Which email or emails worked best? You set the baseline. So for instance, we have a baseline number. I don't care if any email is within 2% of that baseline in terms of open rate. I don't care if it's within 0.5% of that baseline above or below in terms of click-through rate. I don't care. If it's, 0.3% lower than normal, don't care. 0.2% higher, don't care. I have my baselines. I want to know which emails crushed it and which ones bombed. I want to know about the upper and the bottom 15 to 20%. And then I want to learn from those. So which emails did the best? What subject lines got the best open rates? What bonus moved the needle? And I added this bonus and, sales skyrocketed that day. Okay, that's an insight. That's a data point. Just write down what worked best in terms of, subjectively. And I felt like the live stream went really well. But here's what I could have done a little bit differently. Just take 10 to 15 minutes to brain dump and then learn. This isn't about necessarily beating yourself up about things that didn't go well. It's about learning. It tells you where to double down. Stop, and then what's to, stop wasting time on. What is it? Stu McLaren, I've quoted this many times, says, do less of what's not working and more of what is. And I butchered that quote. He probably said it much more profoundly and succinctly. But over time, patterns emerge, and those patterns become your advantage. The affiliates who make real money aren't guessing. They are paying attention to what's working and what's not. Make this year, make 2026 the year you stop relying on memory, start relying on data. Resolution number 3, I will build my list like it pays my bills, because it does. I will build my list. Come on. Social platforms change. Algorithms shift. We are seeing that accounts get throttled. everything. I got my LinkedIn account banned a few years ago. I had had that account since 2005, I think, 2006. I didn't even use it that much, but I I posted something that I didn't even think about, and they're like, your account's banned. It was I did a giveaway on my site. I posted like once a month on LinkedIn when I remembered to, and I have posted, I don't know, 500 things over the years, and I had thousands of like legit real connections, and it poof just went away. Now thankfully I had my VA go into my account like once a quarter and download my contacts list, but still, like, you can't do that with some platforms. Email, you own it. It is the most reliable asset you can build. So I want you, again, one of your KPIs definitely needs to be around email list growth. I want you to actively grow your email list every single week, not someday, not when you have the time. No, it's every week, every day. That might mean creating new lead magnets. It might mean creating new opt-in bonuses during promotions. It might mean running some challenges, adding content upgrades to your posts and videos. I want you to tie your list growth to your affiliate efforts, because the more people you have, if you grow your list from 5,000 to 10,000, you might not necessarily double your affiliate marketing commissions, but you'll probably increase them by 90 to 95%. And you actually might find that it's even more than that, because as you grow it and now you start making real money, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do more work on this. Your list, it gives you control. It gives you control. So I've got a couple of resources for you. I've got a video that I just recorded with Kit, formerly known as ConvertKit. It's about an hour and a half long. It is a full training onto everything we do with our email list, how we've grown it, lead magnets, how we run it on the back end. Like, it is super deep. Robbie, who is our tech guy and runs all that stuff, is on there, and he does most of the talking, thankfully, because he'll nerd you out. It is a super, super, like, ridiculously deep dive into our Kit account. And we did that with Kit. And it's totally free video. Like, you can just go watch it anytime. So I've got that for you. I've got links to our list launch challenge. If you want to grow your email list for, I don't even know, it's under $50. You can grow your list with List Launch Challenge. And cheapest way, you want to know how to grow your list, go grab Turn Your Passions into Profits. PassionsIntoProfitsBook.com. I'll put the link in the show notes. Less than $20 probably right now on Amazon. If you go to that link, because you get some bonuses. PassionsIntoProfitsBook.com. And read the whole book. Start with chapter 1, because it's important to do chapter 1 through 3 before you get to chapter 4. But then chapter 4 and then chapter 10 are all about list growth and content. And so, like, the tools are there, right? The tools are there. If you've read Turn Your Passions into Profit, you know this. Now it's time to live it. Treat your list like the income producing asset that is. Like I said, the tools, it's so easy now. Tools like Kit. And there's other tools, but we just prefer Kit. Easier than ever to grow an email list. Resolution number 4 is I will go deeper on fewer promotions. When you promote everything, your audience begins to kind of tune out. So I want you, unless you already are promoting 6 or less, if you're promoting 7's kind of like that, maybe it's the right number. But I'll put it this way. If you're promoting 9 or more promotions, I want you to reduce it. If you're promoting 9 or 10, I want you to promote 1 less. That's it, just 1 less. If you're promoting 10 to 12, I want you to promote 2 less. If you're promoting more than 12, I want you to promote 20% less. So that'll put you at 3, if you're somehow promoting 30 things. And I'm not talking about passive promotions like a resources page or social media posts that you schedule. And like, I've got some stuff that I promote once every 2 or 3 months on social media, and it's not that big of a deal. It's all automated. So I'm talking about active promotions. And instead of going half-heartedly on 20 things, I want you to go wholeheartedly all in on 12 or 13 or 14 things. offers that you really, really believe in, offers that you are so excited to talk about. And then when you do that, you show up with energy. You create multiple pieces of content. You tell stories, you answer objections, you follow up, you promote like you actually mean it. And depth, what's the old saying? An inch wide and a mile deep is better than a mile wide and an inch deep. Depth beats breadth every time. When you go deep, your messaging improves. And so what happens, not only do you build more trust because your audience know you're not just chasing commissions, but what happens is, let's just do the math. Instead of 12, you do 10. But so you're promoting, 2 less. And let's just say, hypothetically, you made exactly $10,000 on each of those 20, or those 12 promotions last year. And this year you promote 12, or you promote 10, but you make $15,000 on each. Well, you made $30,000 more. It doesn't mean that you got to be spammy, it's just go all in. It just means being intentional, really serving your audience through a promotion instead of kind of dabbling and then, just doing these little promotions here and there. So if you want better results, stop spreading yourself thin. Stop going in an inch deep and a mile wide. Go all in. Go really deep. Number 5, I talked about this a little bit earlier in the, treating it like a business. See, that's kind of the core of all of this. If you only had to make one resolution, that would be it, because it would almost encompass all of the other ones. I will plan my year in advance. And I mean, plan the year in advance. Even a rough plan makes a huge difference. So identify, let's say you want to promote 12 things. Maybe you've promoted 15 in the past, and you're like, I'm going to promote 12 this year. Whatever the number is, you made commitment number 4, resolution number 4, and you've determined the number that you want to promote. Maybe 8, whatever it is. Let's go with 8. That's one every 6 weeks, basically. And you go ahead and plug in your big ones, key launches or evergreen promos, things that, maybe are seasonal, right? Like this thing is just going to be huge at the beginning of summer and I want to promote it. Or this thing is going to be perfect for back to school. I want to promote it then. You go ahead and put the big ones on the calendar. So if you're going to promote 8 things, maybe right now at the beginning of the year, you can put 5 things on your calendar. That's perfect. You can go ahead and prepare early and prepare content and bonuses and things like that. And it gives you a little bit of breathing room, because now you only have 3 things to plug in. And hopefully one of them is not, at least for a couple of months. And then you plug those in, and it gives you some wiggle room, because if something comes up and you get really excited about it, you can still add it. But you've got most of the year planned out. And so it gives you that breathing room. It allows you to warm up your audience. It allows you to coordinate content. It allows you to avoid overlapping promotions. That just destroys results. It's like, well, if I promote 2 things and each of them does 10,000, that would be 20. It's usually not it. You do one thing, you make 15, and you promote 2 and you make 10. And it's like, well, how did I make less money promoting more things? Because dilution. And so again, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need some general direction. Like, you put in as much as you can, even if it's 3 of the 8 right now, and you've got those locked in, great. This is the year you trade that typical chaos for some planned clarity. Resolution number 6, I will use stories to sell. We know this. Stories work. That's why I had Donald Miller on a few months ago to talk about his book, Building a Story Brand 2.0. The features don't sell. The ingredients don't sell. The specs don't sell. Stories sell. So this year, resolve to tell more stories when you promote. This is one of the things that makes that little difference between you and AI. Because stories create connections. Stories lower resistance. They help people see themselves in the outcome. Bullet points are great. They inform, stories persuade. So share. How do you discover the product? What's the mistake you made before using it? Share the moment that something clicked for you. Share that thing that's unique to you. It's that little thing. And, it doesn't mean you can't use AI, but you need to feed AI the stories. And then AI can fill in the gaps if you use AI to create your content. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I use it all the time to write a better sentence. I just don't want to write the whole email with AI because AI doesn't know my stories. And I'm the only one who can be like, you know what? That reminds me of that time in 7th grade when such and such happened. Or that reminds me of that thing that happened last week. Or, here's an idea. I just noticed this. There's something, I got an email the other day. And I'm gonna do I'm pulling the email up to remember what it was. I'm going to do an episode on this in the next few. Yeah, here it is. In the next few months, probably the worst affiliate management email I've ever got. I can't zoom in for some reason on my phone. Why is it not working right now? And it was basically they're trying to get me to promote, and it is just so poorly written. It's so bad. I can't wait to read it and share it with you guys. AI doesn't know that. So if you want to actually make more money without being salesy, tell more stories. If you want to convince more people, you want to guide them, stories. Stories guide better than facts alone. Especially, and they don't have to be like dramatic transformations either. I use this to lose 87 pounds. No. Real, honest experiences work better. Struggles, doubts, mistakes, they can be powerful. So make this year your promotions feel human. Okay? They're not scripted. They're not robots. They're human. That's your stories. And sometimes it's other people's stories as well. Number 7, I will test a new platform. Okay? Growth requires experimentation. Comfort zones are another thing that don't scale. So I want you to resolve to test one new platform. No, this doesn't go against abandoning what works. We talked about that. Or do more of what works and less of what doesn't. This isn't about doing less of what doesn't. You don't know. We're going to try one new thing. Just one. That's all. It could be YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, Threads. I don't care. Pinterest. What? Pick one. Commit to testing it intentionally. Again, does not mean abandoning what works. It means allocating a small percentage, 2%. I'm going to spend an hour a week consistently on YouTube Shorts. That's 2.5% if you work 40 hours. 2.5%. Like if you can't find 2.5% of your work week, you need to free up your schedule a little bit. I want you to, spend the first month learning and then post consistently for a set period of time and evaluate how it's going. Some platforms are not going to work for you, and that's okay. Try it for 3 to 6 months. It doesn't work, start a new one. Testing helps you find out what works before you invest too much time. And sometimes it reveals something that maybe works really well. I have a friend of mine who started doing, long form YouTube videos about 2 years ago. And he did them because he just enjoys doing them. And he got like a real quick 300, he was getting like 300 views per video, which believe it or not is actually higher than like 99.9% of all videos on YouTube. But he got like 300 views and it just stayed there for like a year and he kept doing it. And then he had a video that kind of went like mini viral and got like 5,000 views, but then, it dropped back down, but it didn't drop down to 300. It dropped down to like, now all his new ones were getting 600. That's double what he was getting. So I'm going to fast forward this story. That his average video right now is doing about 20,000 views in a pretty niche market. And almost 1% of those views each video are resulting in email subscribers. And about 5% of those people are buying something. He's now getting like 10 buyers per video. This is a high ticket offer too, by the way. High ticket in the, it's not like $50. It's over $500. But it took almost 2 years for it to finally start really, feeling like, oh my gosh, this is worth it. So experiment. Like affiliate marketing rewards those who experiment. So try something new this year, but do it strategically. Going back to what I said, measure the results, see what works. Then within that platform, do more of what's working and less of what's not. So in that platform, if longer videos are working, do more of the long ones. If shorter ones, do more of the short ones. If this interviews, whatever, something's working, do more of those. All right, resolution number 8, I will ask for better assets and tools. Too many affiliates stay quiet when the assets they're given aren't that great. And this year, I just want you to resolve to speak up. If the swipe copy sucks, ask for some alternatives. If the bonuses don't resonate with your audience, ask for something better. Create your own. If you need testimonials, ask. Affiliate managers should, although some suck at their jobs, they should want you to succeed. Most, not all, will gladly help if you communicate what you need clearly. The worst they can do is say no. I mean, asking is not complaining. Asking is collaboration. Asking is the professional thing to do. And your job is to serve your audience well. So if the tools you're given don't help you do that, advocate for better ones. Make this the year you stop settling and start asking for what you need. All right, resolution number 9 is I will build post-promo funnels. Here's the thing that I have observed over the last 20 years or so. Most affiliates, and I'm guilty of this, by the way, just as much as anyone, most affiliates stop the moment the cart closes. So if you're promoting anything that's time-bound, a launch or any type of 1-week promo or whatever, you just stop when it ends. And that's a mistake. So I want you to resolve this year on at least 2 promotions. I want you to build a post-promo follow-up. I said funnel. I meant follow-up earlier. So I want you to create a wait list for people who missed out, or promote an evergreen version of the offer if it's available. Recommend a related product, something, right? These post-promo follow-ups, they extend the life of the promo. You warmed them up. You got them excited. You got them close to the finish line, and then you just disappear. So even a simple follow-up email can make a huge difference. Over time, these systems, if you add this to your checklist for each promo, they add easy income without a lot of extra work, almost marginally no extra work. And so I want you to just pick 2 this year and test. Like, what did you do and what worked? Did it work? Was it worth the time? I've seen it be worth the time. It's one of those things like you increase the work by 2%. It's kind of like building a house and then going, should we put a window in that one hole in the house that has a spot for a window? Nah. Like, we did all this work and then you ruin it because you don't put a window in? That not having that window will obviously increase your heating and air costs and all that. I'm just going to stop with that example. You get the idea where I'm going with that though. But my point there is like, we don't do that final 2% that can make us an extra 10 to 20% more money. And it's so simple to do. So build those post-promo follow-ups. Number 10, I will automate where it makes sense. Okay. Automation equals laziness. True or false? It's false. Automation equals being smart. So I want you to resolve to build just simple automation that works for you in the background. Whether it's some nurture sequences or some evergreen content with affiliate links, retargeting ads that are automated. Automation frees you up to focus on creative ideas, relationships, instead of just repeating the same task. So one example is just building in, if you know that like you're going to promote something once a year, every year, and it's not a launch, it's just an evergreen thing, don't do live launches or don't do live promos. Build it into your automation. And so we have one thing that we actually put in that we promote like on day 85. It's like day 85 to 92 after somebody signs up for my list, we promote this thing. And then we promote it again 365 days later. And we actually have this sequence built out to like 10 years, and it was just easy. And now it just sits and it runs. And then like, sure enough, like every 2 weeks, I got a $50 commission. You go, whoop-de-doo, right? Well, it's over $1,000 a year that I'm not even doing anything. It's just sitting there. And the cool thing was, because it runs once a year, I'll go ahead and let you in on a little secret. I don't update the emails. Like the emails, we wrote them once and then they're the exact same the following year. But it feels like a live launch to those people. And that's an example where, I'm making over $1,000, probably $1,200 to $1,500 a year for doing literally nothing at this point. That's the kind of stuff you want to do. Can I do that with everything? Of course not. Can I do that? Would I do that with certain products? Would I do that with launches? No. With actual live launches? Of course not. Will I just copy and paste the same emails 5 years from now for the same launch? No, because things have changed. We're acknowledging that there's new technology, but with those emails, we made them pretty evergreen and we haven't had to update them. And that's just one example. We've got a couple others of those that are, making us even a little bit more money, but that's a great example. It's an easy product and it just runs, and it's per subscriber. So they're only getting launched to, quote unquote, every year, once a year. Number 11, I will resolve to create awesome bonuses. Okay. Bonuses are a differentiator. You guys know this. So I want you to resolve this year to create bonuses that actually matter. So I want you to think of when you're thinking of bonuses. Number one, what's a friction? What's a pain point that they have in buying the product? How can I address it? That's number one. Number two, how can I help them get results faster? Number three, how can I take this product and make it more specifically for my audience? So if you're teaching people, I'll give an example. If I'm promoting a copywriting course, I'll say, here are my lessons taken away from this course specifically for affiliate marketers. Like, the goal is not to add more stuff, it's to add the right stuff. And so a strong bonus, I've talked about this in probably half a dozen episodes, give people a clear reason to buy through you. They can increase urgency and loyalty, which are great as well. So if you want to stand out, stop offering generic, kind of lame bonuses and create something your audience cannot ignore. So this is the year that you're going to make your bonuses be freaking awesome. Number 12, I will study what top affiliates do. Success leaves clues. I think it was Tony Robbins that said that, right? So I want you to study, pick 10 or 15 affiliates in your niche, maybe a few outside of your niche. Pick some people who consistently perform well. If affiliate programs that you're a part of publish leaderboards, go take a look at some of those top affiliates. And I recommend sometimes not looking at like the very top. I recommend taking the top 10 and using social media as a proxy for other things like email list size. So what I do, if I really want to study I want to study the affiliates who outperform, they outpunt their coverage, so to speak, right? I'll take the top 10 affiliates and I'll usually have like my VA go make a spreadsheet. Number of Facebook followers, number of Instagram followers, number of followers on Twitter/X, number of followers on TikTok, maybe like the top 5 social media platforms. And then I'll look at that and I'll find the one who's like, I want to look for that person who's in 5th place but has the 10th highest follower count. Or they're in 3rd place with the 9th highest follower count. Basically, I don't want to look at the number 1 affiliate if they also have the number 1 follower count. I will look at the number 1 affiliate if they got the 7th highest follower count or even the 6th. And I want to find those affiliates. And maybe sometimes you might have 3 of them out of the top 10. Great. Those are affiliates that I want to follow and I want to subscribe to, and I want to study them. I want to look at their subject lines. I want to look at their angles, their bonus strategies, their follow-up, and learn. Pay attention to patterns. And then adapt what you learn to fit your voice and audience, of course. But like, the top affiliates aren't magical. They're intentional. Study them. Study them. That's where so much of what I get on this show comes from. It's just studying what other people are doing. So again, easiest way to do that. Go find 4 or 5 of your affiliate programs that you're a part of and look at who are the outliers in the top 10. Again, if they're number 9, but their follower count's the 8th biggest, you don't want that person. You want the one with the 2 or 3 affiliates, or maybe sometimes just one, with the biggest gap between their follower count size and where they're at on the leaderboard. Number 13, resolution for 2026 is I will repurpose more content. Very simple. One idea should never live in one place. This is working smarter, So resolve to repurpose everything you create. Turn emails into posts, videos into clips, stories into reels, podcasts into blogs. Repurposing saves time, increases reach. You got to remember, oh, we're in a video first society. Yeah, we're in a video first. It doesn't mean nobody reads. It doesn't mean blogs are dead. Just because, well, blog traffic is down 60%. Well, that means there's still the 40%. So I still want that 40%. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, it's down 60%, so I'll just go with 0. No. Like, we still have a lot of, like the blog posts, and I'm not just talking my blog because my blog includes podcast episodes and videos, but like my blog posts still get over 35,000 views per month that we can actually track. That's not 0. Did it used to be higher? Yeah, it used to be over 60,000 a month. It's now down to 35. That is we're almost at a 50% drop for me personally. But I still want that. I don't want to just abandon the 35,000. That's still a lot of money. And I'm fulfilling what they're looking for because some people are readers, some people are listeners. I've mentioned so many times, I am an auditory learner. I read for fun, but I listen to learn. So I read fiction and listen to nonfiction because I don't need to learn anything, reading fiction usually, although I sometimes do, especially as I've been reading more fiction as I've been becoming a fiction author. I've been reading more fiction and learning some things, but anyway, the idea here is just to also reinforce your message across platforms. So you have an idea, you have a concept, this 16 resolutions for 2026, like we will turn this into a lot of content. We're going to squeeze every last drop from every idea. We work way too hard. You work way too hard to come up with a title and a hook and the 16 things for like an episode like this, or the top 10X, to then just have it be like one TikTok video and be dead. No, repurpose. Number 14, sort of talked about this a little bit earlier, but I will lean into my strengths. Just said, we're going to repurpose. I talked about trying a new thing. Well, you don't need to be everywhere. You need to be effective where you're the best. So resolve to lean into your strengths. If email converts for you, I want you to double down. If video is your thing, go big. Like maybe that's your thing is, okay, video is big for me, but I'm not doing YouTube shorts. Okay, then start doing YouTube shorts. If writing is, use it, right? Whatever. Yes, test a new platform, like I said earlier, but don't abandon what works. Testing should be a small experiment. I said earlier, 2.5% of your work week, 1 hour a week, not a full pivot. We're not gonna be like, okay, TikTok's big for everybody else. I'm gonna go everything over. No, don't do that. I see that so often. And then, oh my gosh, the number of people I talk to on a yearly basis. If this is you, yes, I am making fun of you. Stop doing this. Well, I tried TikTok for 3 months, and then I tried this, and then I tried this. How many of those did you keep doing for 1 year? Well, none of them. Well, there you go. That's why you sucked at every single one of them. So lean into your strengths. Don't abandon what works. Okay? Drop what's not working over time. Like I can tell you right now, if this podcast stopped working, this is episode 679. I've been doing this for a decade. If it stopped working and I stopped doing it, it wouldn't be because, I quit on it after 3 months. I stopped doing it because it stopped working. So yeah, keep dropping what's not working. Like analyze it. There's something it's taken 12% of my time, but producing 2% of our results. Probably should stop doing it. Reinvest that 12% in something that produces a greater, like that you could actually grow. All right, number 15, I will build affiliate SEO assets, okay? I talked earlier about evergreen traffic from those blog posts, right? Those alone, those 35,000 visitors a month easily make us, and not all of those are affiliate, like probably, I'd have to look. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,000 of those visitors are affiliate related, like meaning where they're 1 or less or 2 or less clicks away from an affiliate offer, not, where, if they click on this one post and then click here and then click there, they can eventually end up getting an affiliate offer. But they're 1 click away from an affiliate offer, a review post, things like that. A blog post that's specifically about a product or a comparison, a YouTube video, whatever it might be, product review of some sort. 15,000 a month, and those generate us in excess of $25,000 a month consistently. So the math is pretty good. $150, $175 a visitor, that's pretty darn good, So whether it's, again, YouTube videos, blog posts, tools like Review Post Pro make this so much faster and so much easier. by helping you create that optimized content, because the key is you have to rank, but you have to convert. If all you do is rank high, like people land on the page and like, this is garbage, and then you don't convert them. And if all you do is convert, but you don't get any traffic, well, that doesn't work either. So you don't need, hundreds of posts. We're getting those 15,000 from about 15 to 20, pretty consistently drive a lot of traffic. Just like SEO, especially on the affiliate side, it's just a long-term play. Starting out, it is not dead. People have said, oh, SEO is dead. AI is killing SEO. No, it hasn't killed it. It's made it smaller. But what I found is the people who, I haven't noticed a decrease in income. I'll put it that way. The people who are still searching are like really there. They're looking not for AI to tell them what the top 5 are. Or what to buy. They're looking for AI to tell them what the top 5 are, and then they go research those top 5 on their own. That's how I use it, actually. I don't necessarily ask AI to like, here's the thing to buy, unless it's like, I needed a new wiper blade on my wiper on the back of my car, and I'm like, I just need to know, like, what do I buy? And just tell me what to buy. Like, I don't know how much those cost. I have no concept of any of that stuff for a wiper blade. And it's like, here, this one rates 5 stars and it costs this much, and here's the link to buy, and it can be there between 4 and 8 in the morning. Perfect. That's a great use of AI. I don't need to go read 15 reviews for a $10 wiper blade, So, but for a lot of products, people do. And so they ask AI to kind of give them like the top 3 to 5 recommendations, and then they dig in and they read the reviews. So again, Review Post Pro is a great tool for that. I'm going to put a link. I just put a link to that in the show notes. I just got an email the other day from this person who was just raving about it. And they said that they usually spend 15 to 20 hours creating a pretty lengthy review post. And they've cut it down to 2 to 3 because they still like to create some of the assets for it and format it, like really format it and things like that. It was like, it just writes it for me, and it writes it so well. And they trained it in their style. And, they've already written hundreds of blog posts. They just uploaded those blog posts, trained in their style, but it's trained in how to format it, how to lay it out, and you just answer a few questions. And he's like, in 10 minutes, I wrote the post. And then the other hour and a half, 2 hours was spent just making it pretty, and like doing things that he wanted and adding internal links and stuff like that. But it's really a cool tool. So go check it out. I'll put the link in the show notes to Review Post Pro. All right, finally, number 16, I will focus on selling, not just sharing. I said earlier, I'm going to focus on stories, but you got to make the call to action, right? I want you to resolve to sell. You're going to tell stories, but you still need to use things like urgency and emotion in stories, of course, and clear calls to action. Selling, like, change your mindset. If you think selling is manipulation, it's not. It's helping people make decisions. If you believe in the product, selling, as Zig Ziglar always said, selling is service. Stop just letting people know about stuff. Start inviting them to act. Your audience expects you to lead them. And one of the ways you can lead them is to sell with confidence. It also happens to be one of the ways you can make a lot more money. All right, so those are your 16 affiliate resolutions for 2026. Some of these might feel like these small little tweaks, right? Others might feel like a total mindset shift like the last one. If you can do 4 of those, I promise you'll see a big difference. If you do 8 of them, you're going to have an amazing 2026. If you do 10 or more, look out. Look out. It all starts with that first one, though. Treat affiliate marketing like a real business. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, track your results. Number 3, build your list. Number 4, go deeper on fewer promos. Number 5, plan ahead. Number 6, use stories. Number 7, try a new platform. Number 8, ask for what you need. Get stuff from your affiliate manager. Number 9, build post-promo follow-ups. Number 10, automate where it makes sense. Number 11, create those standout bonuses. Number 12, study the pros. Pick a couple to study this year, maybe 10 or 12 or 15 to study. Number 13, repurpose everything. 14, lean into your strengths. Number 15, SEO. Build those SEO assets in 2026. And most importantly, number 16, sell. Sell, sell, sell. Don't just share. So here's your next step. I want you to pick 3. Just 3. 3 of those resolutions. Maybe narrow it down. The way I usually do this is there's a couple out of those 16. There's a few where I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm just not going to do that this year. If I had to look at it for me, then I'm like, I'm just not going to do that this year. Gosh, I don't know which one I would pick. What is the one? Usually, though, there's some, or like I'm already doing it. I'm not going to do it. We're already tracking things. Already treating affiliate marketing like a business. But what are the things like I need to do more? So for me, I'll go ahead and say I need to focus more on list growth. That's number one. I need to go deeper on. I need to reduce our affiliate promotions by 1 to 2 and go deeper on them. That's 2. I already do a great job of planning ahead. I need to use more stories. Definitely. I need to try a new platform. That's number 4. I need to do better at building post-promo follow-ups. Let's see. We need to do more automation. We're doing some. I talked about it earlier, but we could do more. And I'm already studying, already creating good bonuses. Okay, so that's 6, right? I have 6 things. Oh, we need to repurpose more. I already said we're doing a pretty good job, but we need to do more. So that's 7 things. Now, I've identified 7. Now I got to go down from there. What are the 3? So pick those 3, just 3, write them down. Go ahead and list 4 through 7 as well. Order all 7, focus on those top 3, commit to them, set up time right now to work on those 3. And then eventually you can get to number 4 and number 5 and number 6, number 7, maybe even 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. We'll go and down all the way down to 16. And don't go it alone, okay? Share this episode with somebody that you know. Share this episode with a fellow affiliate. Hold each other accountable. Because the future favors the prepared, and this is the year to get serious. Speaking of preparation, by the way, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode or any of the other ones coming out in the new year. I've got some good ones. I've got an episode coming up, and I've talked about one episode coming up in a few weeks. It's kind of funny and will help you learn how not to write an email to your affiliates. But I've also got one coming up pretty soon about AI. And is AI the death of affiliate marketing? I'll give you a little hint. It's not. But, hey, you talk about SEO, that's going to be a good one. But you'll want to listen. So I've got some good stuff coming up. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you hit subscribe. And like I said, don't go it alone. Share this episode. Go through it. Have the other person pick their 3 and hold each other accountable. Okay? If you've got questions about anything I shared today, you can text me directly, 260-217-4619. I'd love to help however I can. And if this episode helped you, take a second, leave a rating and review wherever you're listening. It helps more than you know. And share it with someone who could use it. And I'll see you in the next episode. Oh, and hey, Happy New Year. Let's make it a great one. Thank you so much for listening today. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing this episode, make sure to share it with them. And if you have a question, you can ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Questions make my best episode, and it's a great way to get featured right here on the podcast. And if you're loving what you're hearing, please take a moment to leave a rating and review. That helps others find this content so we can all benefit from it. See you soon.